Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday morning, March the 11th. It looks like a very nice day in the Mid-Atlantic region with plenty of sunshine and quite mild afternoon conditions, high temperatures, not far from 70 degrees in some places along the I-95 corridor region of D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City. Then a backdoor cool front comes through by tomorrow, and that'll knock some 10 to 15 degrees off the temperatures in New York City, certainly, Philadelphia, maybe even down to D.C. as well. I refer to a backdoor cold front as one that comes in from the northeast to the southwest in the northeastern part of the nation. That's as compared with the more conventional approach from the west. Hence, it kind of sneaks in from the north and east. And in this case, what it will do is switch the low-level winds from southwesterly today to a north to northeast direction on Wednesday. And the ocean, the western Atlantic Ocean, still quite cold this time of the year. So any kind of a flow off the ocean from a northeasterly direction can knock temperatures down quite quickly and quite noticeably, and that will be the case on Wednesday in places like New York City and Philadelphia. Even an impact noticeable in D.C. on Wednesday. Now, D.C. may rebound quite quickly on Thursday, still staying cool in Philadelphia and New York City. Let's take a look at the Canadian model run from last night at 0Z. First, we're looking at the total precipitation amounts over the next 10 days or so. This is liquid equivalent precipitation. First of all, you can see kind of a healthy amount of rainfall here over the Tennessee Valley. Again, this is over the next 10 days or so. We'll see that this mostly falls in the early part of the upcoming weekend, Friday night into Saturday night. Then that rain threat will shift to the eastern seaboard. Quite a bit of precipitation right here, and much of this may actually be in the form of snow, and lots of precipitation out here across the western U.S. and in these higher elevation locations, including, for example, the Sierra Nevada mountains of eastern California. Much of this will be in the form of snow, so still great skiing conditions out in the west over the next 10 days or so. Well, how does this translate to snow? This is the snowfall map for the next 10 days, again using the 0Z run of the Canadian model. Nothing in the I-95 corridor region, not too surprising. We're getting late into that season. There may be some accumulating snow across, let's say, southern New York later Wednesday into the day on Thursday. We'll take a look at the surface maps in a moment here, but a little bit of snowfall up across portions of New York State. Now, more significant snow right in this region right here. That comes at the end of the week, and we'll have a very strong low pressure area moving out of the Rockies into the Central Plains, and then it cuts off to the north and east towards the western Great Lakes. And this area may be in the cold sector for a while, enough so for some accumulating snow. And out west, a lot of snowfall for those higher elevations of the Rocky Mountain states. And right here, the Sierra Nevada mountains of eastern California will get some significant snow over the next 10 days or so. So here we are headed towards the middle part of March, and still some significant precipitation, some significant snowfall for at least the northern half of California. Again, all those higher elevation locations up across just inside interior part of the west we'll see some significant snowfall. You see 73 inches right here, 47 inches right there over the next 10 days or so. Well, let's take a look at the 500 millimole height anomaly forecast maps. And we have a potential severe weather outbreak late in the week going into the upcoming weekend. First, the threat will begin over the Central Plains, late Friday night time frame. It'll kind of shift east by the time we get to Saturday to the Mississippi Valley region, maybe the Tennessee Valley region as well. And then there could even be some strong thunderstorms making their way all the way into the eastern states, the East Coast area, by the time we get to Sunday, as a strong cold front finally moves in to the eastern states on Sunday from the west to the east, a more conventional cold frontal system here. Starting off the day here on Tuesday with some high pressure ridging centered over the middle Mississippi Valley region. Now, excuse me, we'll push through over the next few days here, midweek on Wednesday, and then here comes the real system of importance here for the end of the week. Here we go. By Friday morning, a vigorous upper level low here dives south and east into the Four Corners region, and this is setting up our battle zone region right here. We've often talked about when you have a ridge off to the east here, in this case a high pressure ridge here, upper level low here, you have a lot of cold air out associated in the western U.S. with that upper level low, and warm air off to the east, and this sets up that battle zone region here. And we'll have a very strong surface low that pulls out of the Rockies, slips into the central plains at the end of the week, and then moves off to the north and east, and that will have some very, very strong pressures with it, low pressures with it, a very strong system here, and that increases the chance for very strong winds. I think it increases the chance for tornadoes as well at the end of the week going into the weekend. Let's now move forward here and see where this upper level low moves, and indeed it moves off to the north and east, and here we go. By the time we get to Saturday morning, slides up towards the western Great Lakes. Again, we have this clash zone here that on Saturday kind of shifts to the east, the ridge to the north and east, the trough to the west. Here is your battle zone region. It could be some severe weather. Lower middle Mississippi Valley region, maybe Tennessee Valley region on Saturday, and certainly some heavy rainfall is a possibility right down here. We saw that forecast map of total precipitation, and there was a big bullseye right over the Tennessee Valley, and that is likely to occur on Saturday more than any other day in this next 10-day period. Then we move forward here, and we kind of have a secondary upper level low that slides, takes kind of the southern route and slides into the eastern states by the time we get to midday on Sunday. And again, you have this kind of a clash zone area now shifting to the east with a strong cold front moving in from west to east towards the eastern seaboard during the day on Sunday. Very, very strong high pressure ridging here, higher heights than normal over the northeastern part of the U.S., the southeastern part of Canada. Meanwhile, an upper level low sliding across the southern states on Sunday. And again, possibility of strong and maybe even severe thunderstorms on Sunday in the eastern U.S. They don't expect quite as widespread of a severe weather outbreak on Sunday in the east as compared with Saturday over the Mississippi and Tennessee Valley, and late Friday night over the central plains here. But we'll continue to monitor those possibilities as we go through the week. Then we get into the day on Monday, and by this time that surface cold frontal system slides off the coast. Colder air pushes into the mid-Atlantic region and the northeast U.S. Well, let's wrap up by looking at the surface forecast maps again using the 0Z Canadian model run. Low pressure produced some rainfall yesterday over the southeastern states. It is now moving off the Carolina coastline, and we'll move forward here. Most of the country dry for this Tuesday here, and again, very nice conditions across the mid-Atlantic region with mild afternoon and plenty of sunshine. Now, we'll move further into the week here as we go into the midweek. Still quite mild across much of the nation here and quite quiet. But notice, excuse me, a strong storm system pushing off the Pacific Ocean into the western U.S., and that will result in some significant snowfall over those higher mountains of eastern California, the Sierra Nevada, as well as up across the interior sections of Washington and Oregon, with significant snowfall and rain in the low-lying areas here. But look at that precipitation from this system, and that rainfall slides all the way down the coast, and they should get some decent rainfall out of this upcoming system. Places like Los Angeles, maybe even down to San Diego later in the week. We're talking about Wednesday night, Thursday time frame. Still dry over most of the nation here on Thursday. But notice up here over New York State, there can be some accumulating snow later Wednesday night into Thursday morning across maybe southern and central New York, as a system that's been pretty persistent on the models here slides across the state here late Wednesday night into Thursday. We have cold high pressure parked over northern New England at this time on Thursday. Then that high pressure moves off the coast. We start to get warmer again by the end of the week across the Mid-Atlantic region. Here we go into Friday morning. And here is a deep low pressure area. And notice this pressure gradient pattern right here. Very tight pressure gradient, and that is a long fetch of air out of the south central states all the way into the Great Lakes states. This is pumping some warm and even some humid air all the way up to the north with this intensifying low pressure area. Very strong winds, and that could set the stage for some severe weather here. This is Friday morning. Let's move ahead, and here we're now down to a 979 millibar low. And certainly one of the things I learned at Penn State with severe weather outbreaks is tornadoes often tend to form not too far from that surface low pressure area. And when you have a low pressure this deep, 979 millibars as of Friday night, then I would be quite concerned in this part of on the warm side of this storm system here as of late Friday night time frame. I learned that lesson from Dr. Greg Forbes, as a matter of fact, one of my faculty advisors at Penn State many years ago. He of Weather Channel fame and a tornado expert. So we'll have to watch. This is kind of a red flag here for not only severe weather but potentially tornadoes with this kind of a deep surface low pressure system. Here we are later Friday night, and that whole area starts to slide into the east, and that threat will slide into the Mississippi Valley, the Tennessee Valley on Saturday. And remember, we talked about the cold sector on the northwest side of the storm likely resulting in some snowfall. And here we go into Minnesota, and this could extend all the way into Wisconsin later in the upcoming weekend. Here we are on midday on Saturday, and here we can see some snowfall all the way into Wisconsin. And Minnesota continues here, 988 millibar low at this particular time late in the day on Saturday. And look at this, just a ton of rainfall. And remember, we saw that secondary upper level low kind of slide and taking that southern route way down across the southern states. That is playing a big role right here. So the potential of heavy rainfall is high in the Tennessee Valley late Saturday night, middle Mississippi Valley region, and this heavy rainfall area can also feature some severe weather, potentially including the possibility of some tornadoes as well. Now, that whole area of upper motion here moves into the eastern states now. Here we are on Sunday morning. This flow is bringing warm and humid air all the way up along the Atlantic seaboard. It could lead to some strong thunderstorms, certainly can lead to some heavy rainfall on Sunday along the East Coast area here in the eastern states. Move forward a little bit in time here, and here we go by midday on Sunday and then late in the day on Sunday. And there's a strong cold front right in this region right here late in the day on Sunday approaching the eastern seaboard. And again, there can be some heavy rainfall, maybe even some strong thunderstorms. We'll have to monitor that possibility over the next few days here. And then by the time we get into Sunday night and Monday morning, that cold front moves off the eastern seaboard by next Monday, right about in this area right here, and colder air is starting to push in from the north and west into the Mid-Atlantic region. So certainly looks mild through the upcoming weekend in the Mid-Atlantic region, but then turns colder again post-frontal system to start off next week, next Monday. This is all the way out now to March 17th. St. Patrick's Day. So a lot of activity here, especially late in the week going into the upcoming weekend. First across the Central Plains, where there will be a deep surface low pressure system. Then that threat of heavy rain and severe weather will shift into the Mississippi Valley, Tennessee Valley on Saturday, and then all that rainfall heads to the eastern seaboard on Sunday. And watch out for some accumulating snow up across the western Great Lakes with this weekend storm system. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.